Ladies and gentlemen, after 11 years, it is finally here. A Minecraft movie has finally released in theaters, and today I'm going to be giving you guys my thoughts and opinions on the movie. So let's go ahead and get started off. First off, I'd like to start with where I saw the movie. I personally saw the movie in a IMAX theater. So an IMAX theater is essentially a really large movie theater, and I think the only difference is compared to like a standard normal movie theater is the screen. The screen is like probably twice as large as your average movie theater screen. And when I'm thinking about this IMAX screen, there's only one of these inside this whole theater. It's meant for the event movies, the premiere, brand new, fresh event movies, and they had the Minecraft movie playing. So me and my cousin decided we were going to try with the IMAX theater because we wanted to get the full movie experience out of this. And we did see this on the first day of release, which was yesterday, the 4th of February, 2025. We ordered our tickets probably earlier this week around maybe Monday. I think on Monday we ordered ours online for the theater, and we were looking at the seats and everything, and we were lucky. We thought, oh my gosh, this whole theater looks perfectly open. Nobody's ordered their seats yet. We can get the perfect best middle seats in the house. So we go ahead and order our tickets, right? And I go ahead and check back in a couple days later, and I'm thinking to myself, most of these tickets still haven't been bought yet. I wonder what's going on. Nobody seems to be buying tickets yet. I mean, there's only a couple more tickets that have been bought. Maybe people are just waiting for the actual day of the movie. So when we go to the movie, the day of the movie, I guess, me and my cousin arrived late, actually, due to eating the Minecraft movie meal at our local McDonald's around that area. So we arrived there late thinking, oh no, the whole theater is going to be full. Let's hope nobody tried to take our seats, anything like that. And when we walk into the theater, the first thing I notice is over like 80% of these seats are completely empty. There is nobody in these seats. I'm thinking, what the heck? It's like the second showing of the day. Why the heck is there nobody here for this movie? Isn't this like the premiere movie? Don't people want to come see, a Minecraft movie with such a big IP such as Minecraft? You imagine that many people would want to come see the movie. So we were very surprised by the lack of people that were in the theater. It was probably only 20 to 30 people inside an entire IMAX theater, which I think can hold over 100 people, which is kind of crazy. Not even like 20% of the way full. It's insane how lack of people that were in there. So now we've gotten, the stage set and everything prepared. Let's talk about the actual movie. So the first topic I would like to talk about with the movie is the human actors. So one thing that was really pushed big in the trailers is that there were going to be human actors inside a mostly CGI world. Now, seeing these trailers, I was really, really nervous about this idea playing out in the movie. And for good reason. It's kind of weird seeing these normal human-shaped people in a world full of cubes and blocks where everything else, including the other mobs, like animals, anything like that, are all cubic, but the people are not. And that's such a weird, it's weird to see it because everything else is so cubed and all that, and it makes it very strange. It doesn't really fit or blend into the world a whole lot, but they tried their best to make sure that the overworld was very much realistic enough to try and have these people blend in better, which I think they did an okay job with. It's not too crazy after getting used to it for a while, but at first it definitely looks very odd. But there are some scenes in the film where they are in a normal human world setting, and in that normal human world setting, you're just very confused. Like, what does it have to do with Minecraft, right? Where's the Minecraft stuff? Because when they're in the real world, there's nothing happening except for like a little bit of exposition and some explaining for some characters that are in the film. But we're not here to talk about that because this is a Minecraft movie. So what's going on with this time that there's no Minecraft in the Minecraft movie? So in the Minecraft movie, we have a couple human actors, which I already explained, that seem very odd within a CGI setting. One of them is Steve, the big poster child of the whole movie, Steve, who is played by none other than Jack Black himself. Jack Black in this film definitely seems like he's having a really good time. Like, he honestly looks like he really enjoyed playing the character of Steve, and you can see that in his energy throughout each of the scenes in the film. He looks like he's always having a really good fun time and is enjoying himself, which is very good to see an actor like really putting in the effort, because that means they're trying really hard to make sure that they're accurate to the character. And I also believe I read some stuff that he was playing tons of Minecraft in the background while acting for the movie to even get more researched on it, which I can respect 100% wholeheartedly. But once again, having these human actors in a completely CGI setting is very, very odd. So it makes him look very out of place, and I don't know, it's weird to describe how it looks. It just does not fit. It just feels like there's something off. The casting of Steve with Jack Black. Steve looks nothing like Jack Black. If you look at the games, Jack Black and Steve have nothing in common almost. So it was very confusing to see why they chose Jack Black for Steve, except for the fact that it seemed like it was mostly a children's film, and that the Mario movie came out like a year prior, having Jack Black as Bowser, and I feel like that might have been a big influence on why Jack Black was Steve in the Minecraft movie. But he did try his hardest, and I can give him props for that. He did have some random unnecessary singing that I noticed throughout the movie. Like, there was a couple times where there's just random songs that he's singing, and they don't feel at place at all during the film. And it was very confusing to me, like, as a viewer watching it, and him just randomly bursting into song at times that just didn't feel very right for there to be a song. One of the big things that helped build up the hype for the Minecraft movie was definitely the memes. Jack Black is a huge reason for most of the memes that go on in this film. I mean, anytime that something happened, I could immediately think of the memes that I've seen on Instagram, mainly Instagram Reels, the Flint and Steel and Ender Pearl and, you know, the Nether and all that. Anytime he said any of those quotes, all I could think of was instantly going back to those memes that I'd seen online. And that really did impact my overall experience of watching the film. Whenever Jack Black says chicken jockey in the film, the whole theater, which mind me is 25 to 30 people, started clapping and cheering whenever he said that, which was a very odd thing, but that's 100% due to the memes. I think if those memes did not exist, that whole thing would not have made any sense for anyone to be clapping or cheering or anything like that. But that was pretty fun, honestly, having that in the theater due to the memes. I feel like the memes definitely helped the film, which is weird to say because the memes are very strange. They're more of just complete brain rot. There's nothing there. It's just quotes from the trailers, and that's for somehow, some way, left an impact on how I viewed and watched the film. Along with my cousin, he also loved like having the memes stuck into his head. Anytime they said a quote, we'd look over each other and go, open our mouths real wide, remembering the quotes from the trailers. One thing about the Minecraft movie is that the main villain, I guess, which is a Queen Piglin. The Queen Piglin is a very odd villain. I don't feel like she had very much menacing to her. She wasn't very menacing, which, I mean, makes sense for something like a children's film, which I do feel like this movie was probably overall made for children, which makes sense due to the target audience of, you know, the game of Minecraft in general. The Queen Piglin was a very odd, I don't even remember her name, she was so forgettable. She didn't really do a whole lot. She really just sent out her own piglins to do her bidding for her, and they didn't really do much either. I don't feel like the piglins were very much of a problem for our main cast at all. They never really struggled with having to fight these guys. The only time I can think of they had to struggle with fighting them is when they release a really big one near the end of the film, and even then, they don't even have to fight it. It's mainly fought by iron golems. So it completely takes away the whole fighting aspect of that, along with the villain not really being treated seriously. A lot of the time, especially near the very end with the villain, she gets treated very unseriously and has some pretty joke moments near the end, which, I mean, it's alright, it's a children's film, I understand, but I don't feel like they take her seriously very much at all. Even with her backstory, it did not feel very serious. Moving on from the villain, there were a couple things that I felt did not make sense in the slightest in this movie. So, there were times where you'd feel like something was supposed to happen, and it definitely did not. Like, if you were playing the game and there's a creeper next to you, it's going to go ahead and explode, right? Well, these creepers in the movie, they're just standing around. There's a scene where they're in a cave. There's just tons of creepers surrounding these guys, all of them in a minecarts, right? And they're just standing there. They don't explode. They don't do anything. They're not mad. They're just completely passive, which is very confusing to me. I thought that was a very odd thing that they had in the movie. Another thing that I thought was very odd is one of our main characters makes a tater tot gun, which there are no guns in Minecraft, and I believe didn't they actually do something about their terms of service where they can't have guns in the Minecraft, like, servers and stuff. So it's very confusing on why they added a tater tot gun to the movie. It was just a very odd detail. They barely used it for any of the film. They used it for, like, the very end and when they crafted it, and that's about the only time they used anything with this tater tot gun. For some reason, that tater tot gun was also super powerful. I forgot to mention that. It's a very odd thing. Why is a tater tot gun, like a freaking gun that shoots tater tots, should not do, like, be killing anything? It shouldn't be damaging anything at all. I thought that was a very odd detail. So in the trailer, they do have the three of them throw on elytras. And in the movie, it is stated that Steve has only ever killed one Enderman. Can someone please explain to me how only one Enderman was killed, and he'd gotten to the end and gotten not just 2, but 3 elytras minimum? He says he forgot to grab the third, which means there could be more than 3 that we don't know about. So I don't understand how he could have possibly only killed one Enderman and still gotten those 3 elytras. I mean, it could be just a little small misnote that they didn't realize over the film. There was a big plot hole that I noticed really early on. So there's this thing called the orb that they have to, that they're trying to acquire the whole movie. It's what the piglins are trying to acquire, and it's what the people need to get home. And when the orb was first sent back to the real world where everyone else is living, a dog is what brings it to that world. And they bring it there, and nothing ever happens of it until somebody finds it and there's a note with it. That note is never written in any part of the film. Steve doesn't have the time to write this note and send it with the dog. The dog never carries a note with this. So it makes me wonder, where did this note come from? This note was probably the most random thing in the film, in my opinion. It did not make sense at all for there to just be this random note that's been written that explains all sorts of stuff about this cube that Steve didn't write. Steve didn't write it, and the dog, I don't think, wrote it. I don't think the dog has the ability to write, but I could be wrong. If it does, there was no explanation of it, or how it got there, or where that note came from, but that note is there. That was a very weird thing that I thought I might as well mention. Another thing I thought was really strange with the movie is that there was this villager side plot where this villager goes back to the real world, right? This only takes place in like 5 minutes of the movie, so I'm not even sure why they added this in general. But the villager gets hit by a car and is like, the lady who gets out is like the kid's teacher or like their principal, right? And she starts going out with this villager who's just the whole time. And it just doesn't make any sense. What is happening? Why is this in the film? It has nothing to do with the plot and doesn't move anything forward. I thought it was just one of the most random things they could have possibly added to the movie. I do not understand in the slightest on why they added that. If I did have to pick a coolest scene of the film, is when they're inside the Woodland Mansion and our main character, I don't remember his name. Honestly, I don't remember any of their names. They were all so forgettable. Gets attacked by an Enderman. And during this scene, it shows multiple of the characters being evil and saying horrible stuff to the character. And this is where I probably saw the coolest thing I thought I saw in the whole movie. We get to see a small glimpse of HEROBRINE inside of the Minecraft movie, which I never ever thought I'd say. I was very, very surprised. I remember me and my cousin were joking about it before we went into the movie. Oh my god, what if HEROBRINE's in it? What if HEROBRINE's in it? And oh my god, he was in the fucking Minecraft movie. That was something I would have never ever expected coming out of the Minecraft movie. That was probably the coolest thing that I noticed in the movie. I remember literally jaw dropping when I saw that. It may not even be HEROBRINE. It may have just been Steve with white eyes, but it was really specific. I definitely think they were hinting that was HEROBRINE right there, which was very interesting and I thought was amazing for the film. There were 2 cameos that I saw. There may have been more, but there were only 2 that I noticed, and one of them I didn't even notice. So earlier on, while they're doing a storage cell auction, you can spot DanTDM just chilling in the background. He doesn't say anything throughout the entire film. He's there for like less than a minute. I'm not even sure why he was there. And then they do one with Jeb where he's a waiter at a restaurant. At the restaurant, I think that the villager and the one lady are going on a date at, which I thought was very strange. probably my favorite thing in the, well, second favorite thing in the film was they honored Technoblade, and that is really important to me. They even gave him words. I'm surprised they did anything with Technoblade at all for the Minecraft movie. They had a pig run across with a crown on his head, and they go, "Who's that? It looks pretty cool," and they're like, "He's a legend," and that really hit from home, because I loved watching Technoblade's videos and everything like that. And those were some pretty cool details, I thought. The ending of the movie was very forgettable. Not a lot happened, really. They just had a bunch of iron golems go against piglins, and of course the iron golems eventually take over and win, and they eventually beat the piglin lady after she acquires the orb, which is literally a cube. They just call it an orb, I'm assuming. I can't even explain why, but after that, everybody finally has a chance to return home, and they let everyone go home, and even Steve randomly decides to go back home. This is where we're going to get into the post-credit scene. They all end up going back home, which Steve was originally not from the Minecraft world. I forgot about that. Steve was originally not from the Minecraft world, which I thought was a very strange thing. I mean, they even explained in the trailer about how he yearned for the mines, which was very confusing and all that. But they eventually, in the post-credit scene, they go up there. Steve, I guess, goes back to his old house and knocks on the door, and oh my goodness, there's Alex. I guess that's something. It's something, I guess. Other than that, the movie overall was a better experience than I expected. I expected this movie to be much worse than it actually was, and I was kind of surprised. It made me laugh a couple times. There were no parts I thought were really serious. I do think that the movie is definitely worth a watch, at least. If you're a fan of Minecraft, I do think it is worth a watch. I think there's a lot of stuff that Minecraft fans will not like, but there's enough in there that people will like, and there's enough to at least somewhat enjoy the film. If I had to give it an overall rating out of 10, I'd probably give it a solid 4, which isn't like good, but it was alright watch. Like, as someone who was a kid dreaming for the Minecraft movie, I think if I was a little kid, I would have really enjoyed this a lot more. But then again, I'm not the target audience. I'm 19, and they're not really looking to make a movie for someone like me. They're looking to make it for, kids and younger audiences. And I guess overall, that would be my honest review of a Minecraft movie. If there's anything I skipped over or anything you guys wanted me to mention, go ahead and leave it down in the comments. I'll try to reply to as many of you guys as I can. And yeah, sorry if I also seem kind of quiet. It's about 1 a.m. in the morning. I'm recording this video in the middle of a thunderstorm. But yeah, that is basically my honest review of a Minecraft movie. And if you guys enjoyed, be sure to go ahead and hit that like button and give me a big ol' subscribe. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. Bye, guys.